Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. We've got Kamala Harris consoling supporters with what seemed like a rehearsal for a role in drunk history. Sharon Stone jet-setting across Europe to tell us all how dumb we are. Michelle Obama's self-help workbook for people who can't deal with, well, I'll let you guess what. And John Kerry once again declaring that the sky is falling, this time with less methane. Let's dive in. Vice President Kamala Harris consoled her supporters in a call on Tuesday. By consoled, I mean she sounded like she was doing karaoke at happy hour.
You would hear me talk about it all the time, being a daughter of parents who were active in the civil rights movement.
You forgot the middle class thing.
That we are dedicated to the coalition, to bringing people together that seemingly have nothing in common, but have everything in common.
What? I think you mean some things in common. If they had nothing in common to start, they can't end up with having everything in common unless you had an open bar.
And our understanding that the strength of our country will be a function of our willingness to put in the work. And that we will do that work with a sense of joy, yes. With a sense of work ethic and understanding it's going to be hard, but it's good work. It's good work.
Has she been drinking? Because she seems a little bit schnockered, a bit pickled. She's lit up like a Christmas tree. But I mean, her staff wouldn't let her get on a call if she was, would they?
Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion from grassroots supporters alone. The most in presidential campaign history.
And you still managed to lose every single swing state, which is really saying something. You guys definitely should be patting yourselves on the back.
It included, for example, nearly almost 4 million first-time contributors to our campaign.
And last-time contributors.
And that work continues. The work must continue.
How many fingers am I holding up? If you say yes, I'm calling your designated driver.
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire.
You're talking in cursive right now. If you're auditioning for the role of a wobbly penguin, you're nailing it. Doesn't somebody on your end have some black coffee or something?
And on this practical eve of Thanksgiving, I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving with the ability and to find the ability at this moment.
Okay, that's it, Captain Tipsy. You're officially cut off. And no more hanging out with Nancy Pelosi. Kamala's call wasn't about inspiring supporters. It was about inspiring us all to invest in better speechwriters and maybe a few breathalyzers. At the Torino Film Festival in Italy, Sharon Stone blamed President Trump's victory on uneducated Americans who don't travel abroad.
My country is in its adolescence. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated, are in their extraordinary naivete.
Imagine being told you're the reason Trump won because you haven't been to Paris by someone who hasn't flown coach since 1983. Sharon Stone is living proof you can see the whole world despite having your head up your ass. Sharon then launched into what only can be described as a half-baked sermon on good men.
We must say that good men must help good men, and those good men must be very aware that a lot of your friends are not good men.
I only understood about 30% of that, but go on.
And you can't continue to pretend that your friends are good men when they are not good men.
I can't tell if this is a press conference for a film festival or a PSA for Lifetime movies.
And understand that your friends who are not good men are dangerous, violent men, and you have to keep them away from your daughters, your wives, and your girlfriends.
This whole thing sounds like Sharon's been through a bad breakup and she's in her man-hating phase. Did she get that insight before or after she called her ex at 2 a.m.?
Because this is a time when we can no longer look away when bad men are bad.
Bad men are bad. Thank you, Professor Obvious. So we won't look away when bad men are bad. But what do we do when we're staring directly at a train wreck? Sharon Stone makes Kamala Harris look like a wordsmith. Honestly, if I had $1 for every time Sharon said good men,
good men, good men, good men, good men, good men, good men, good men,
I'd have $7. Bad men are bad, good men are good. Thanks, Sharon. I haven't been this inspired since Sesame Street taught me the letter B. Are you having a difficult time dealing with President Donald Trump winning the election? If so, this new book by Michelle Obama is for you. It helps you deal with anxious times, or as we call it, Trump derangement syndrome.
My new workbook, Overcoming, is out. It's going to be on shelves. This is the first time I've held it myself.
She's holding her book for the first time. Don't worry, Michelle. It'll feel heavier once it's filled with liberal tears.
So I encourage you, particularly during this time, during the holiday season, during a time where we feel a little out of sorts, a little anxious, I urge you to pick this book up and just walk through some of the exercises.
Because nothing says holiday cheer like sending money to the Obamas. Now, Michelle's book isn't necessarily just for Democrats. It's for anyone who needs help dealing with the anxiety of a free and fair election. John Kerry, the Biden administration's climate envoy, recently warned that the United States is on the brink of needing to declare a climate emergency.
I think, personally, we're on the brink of needing to declare a climate emergency, which is what we really have. And we need to get people to behave as if this really is a major transitional challenge to the whole planet, to everybody.
Well, at least this time he got through the climate emergency without farting.
Can be avoiding responsibility for taking away those things that are killing people on a daily basis.
If John Kerry's farts were renewable energy, we'd have solved the climate crisis by now. Imagine the headlines. Kerry's emissions power half of Washington, D.C. Kerry says that we're on the brink of a climate emergency, which is funny because I'm pretty sure I heard the same thing from him about 500 climate conferences ago. John Kerry, a guy worth $250 million who has 5 mansions, lecturing us on sustainability. It's like Dracula giving blood drive tips, except Dracula's at least honest about the sucking. To all of you in the United States, I wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you eat a ton. I know I'm planning on it. Anyway, thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.